Hi, my name is Vanessa, and I'm writing a novel in 2 years. Here's the thing, this is going to be really quick today. I have a movie in approximately 30 minutes, and I need to go 10 minutes ago. But I still wanted to make sure that I got my weekend. I'm a writer, I'm a TV writer. I've been a TV writer for about 10 years. I've written for shows like How to Get Away with Murder, The Sandman, Fate the Wing Saga, and I also helped develop an anime. Right now, I'm writing a literary, I guess, horror novel. It's a part of this project called the Book Project, and it is a part of this Lighthouse program. If you're a writer, you should definitely check it out. They have great programming. I'm learning that I'm bad. No, I'm just playing. So my literary horror novel is here's my elevator pitch every week. Let's see how we do this week. My literary horror novel is it is told from the perspective of a monster who's made up of human limbs and parts, and it's suddenly realizing that it's dying, and it's kind of becoming sentient because it's dying for the first time. And so it goes into the memories of the last person that it's absorbed and consumed, to try to see what about their journey has possibly poisoned me and killed me. And so we watch this last person's last days on Earth. And as this monster is in this person's memories, it kind of becomes more sentient as it understands what it is to be human. And it starts to develop its own wants and goals outside of just getting better, and eventually decides that it really wants to be like a human and find freedom and do its own thing. And that presents its own problem because it cannot do its own thing. So yeah, that's that. So this week, I'm keeping it very simple. This week was my first week engaging in my new schedule for the novel. Last week I mentioned I got into this I guess productivity kind of club / workshopping thing, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. for Pacific time. It has been a whole adjustment. First of all, I don't get up that early. It has been a whole adjustment to adapt to this new schedule. And so this week it was all kind of about, all right, now we have a really strict schedule. This is no longer fantasy. Let's think about what time we can write. This is like for real right now. Let's do this thing. If you want to do this thing, let's do this thing. And so it was all about kind of adjusting my habits and making sure that I got up, making sure, honestly, the hardest part about it all, I'll explain some challenges. I literally have to go very soon. So this is going to be more of a vloggy kind of thing. I recorded myself as the week went on, very poorly, but I recorded myself as the week went on to just kind of track how I've been as a writer and how I was able to adjust, and then kind of what I was doing each day as I was working. I also just recently got a new writing job. And so it's been weird to kind of balance. It happened at the same exact time. Like this started this week. The assignments for the job are also due, like it's happening right now. And I have to do some notes from my other scripts. So this week was really crazy. And I'm also judging. Shout out to Fusion Film Festival at NYU. It's like a women in femme and queer film festival run by Susan Sandler at NYU. I'm a judge for the graduate film block. So there's a lot going on this week. It was really difficult, but I think the difficulty helped me keep on track and keep focused. Please enjoy this week. It's very vloggy, it's very chill, it's very simple. I will come back for a more yappy video, but I think for this week, keeping it simple and just showing you what it was like is great. This is the first day of class, or of the writing thing. We're supposed to elevator pitch. There's nothing I need to, it's 8 o'clock. What is there to, I don't want to talk about this project. Like, and my bonnet's still on. It starts in like 2 minutes. My oatmeal, my bonnet, I gotta hurry up. I took like 3 minutes putting on my necklaces because I have to wear jewelry every day or it'll be a bad day. Just kidding, it's always a bad day. Anyway, I just finished making my oatmeal. It's time to start the 96 hours. I've decided that I'm going to journal first to get into it for the first hour. and then I'll start writing because I have nothing to say right now. It's empty. Or I might do my study first. Yes. And then write. Yes. Okay. Okay, I don't feel like showing my face because it's been a long day. We've already seen enough. This is the end of day one. Day one was a moment. I was really excited, even if you couldn't tell. It was really good. The first hour, so you have 4 hours, obviously. I spent the first hour, because my brain wasn't on yet, I studied that book and I journaled a little bit afterwards. And then from there, I wrote, kinda. Well, it was interesting because we did introductions for a very long time, and so we really only got 1 hour after that to write. And so I spent my hour that we got writing. And guess what? I wrote the last chapter of my book. Well, like the last few pages. I also came up with a name for the book. It's gonna be called, I don't know if I want to say it yet, so I'm not gonna say it, but I came up with the last sentence of the book, and I came up with the new title of the book. So it was really fruitful already. Don't know what it's gonna give on Wednesday. You know, you have that high the first day, and then you're like, oh shit, I gotta keep doing this. So, but let's just be happy that we finished it and that we're in it and we're going. First thing I'm gonna do is read. For my first hour, I'm gonna read and journal. So we're gonna try to crack into this. It's very difficult, but I think my morning brain is probably the best time to read it versus my tired night brain. Although I'm always awake at night. All right, whatever. Gigi really wants to play because it's morning playtime and she brought her toys, and I feel incredibly guilty that I have to do this. It's really hard to change and put yourself first, especially when you have people and things relying on you for their happiness. So maybe during my 10-minute break, I might play with her. Okay, so first hour is done. Bunch of note cards, and then, so I've been doing it with like, whatever. I've been doing it with like, you have a note card here, just like with the general beat. And then on the back, you kind of have like what happens in the actual beat and what's like the how does it move the theme and story forward here on the back. Like, so if you have this is the external beat. Behind, you have what does it add to the story? Why is it there? And if you can't figure out the why is it there, then it probably doesn't need to be there. Pretend I crumpled it. So that's what we worked on for the past hour. This is my first time seeing all the beats, and I'm like, oh, is this too much? What the fuck?
He was like, oh, it's almost like I found out she had a kid.
I know, he was like, I'm just getting in the video.
Seafood pancake. Kimchi pancake. It has kimchi. It's like a bread pancake.
I'm rushing, yeah.
And then it's a vicious cycle because like
It is about 1 o'clock in the morning. I have class at 8. I just recently got a paid writing. I just recently got a paid writing job. So I'm finishing. You know, remember that script project I said that I finished? Did not. So I'm rewriting script stuff. I just got a paid writing thing that I worked on up until 12, and I'm also a judge for a film festival that I have to watch 3 a day. And luckily I have energy, otherwise I wouldn't watch these films because I don't want to judge a film and I'm tired. But now I've got to watch 3 films. I'm trying to be in bed ASAP. Hopefully watching the films will power my brain down. But this is just a day in the life of a working writer. And tomorrow we got to work on our book. Thank God for this 96-hour class, because I'm telling you, if not for this, I would not be working on it tomorrow. So, see you tomorrow. Okay, we made it to our 8 o'clock class. I'm very tired. I did not get that much sleep, but we made it. And I'm gonna study again, do note cards, and yeah. This week, the way that I'm just like raw and unfiltered, this is crazy. Anyway, the life of a writer when I don't have time to fully goth up. The longer that I read this book, read in general, but the longer that I read this book, the more it makes sense, which is very cool because, like I said, it can be perceived as academic text, I guess, for someone of my reading level. And being able to understand and parse things out is good. It's like I'm getting back to my normal brain. My biggest challenge this week, I noticed, was the distractions. There was no time for phone. There was no time for cat. I had to be on schedule. Like right now, I'm behind schedule because everything this week is very scheduled. But that being said, it was really important for me to stay plugged in. As we all know, as I've always said for the past few weeks, it's very, very important for me to stay in tune with what's going on, with what the community needs, where can I be of service. I'm really mad that last week I missed out on this self-defense class. I couldn't do it. I was swamped with too much work. So it's just been a lot. It's been a lot. And I'm still trying to make sure that I'm paying attention to what's going on, because there's no point in writing or doing any of this stuff if I'm writing in a vacuum and I'm not like, wow, people are being kidnapped off of the streets and taken into custody. You should probably pay attention to that. You should pay, horror writer, romance writer, you should be knowing what's going on. I don't care. You should know what's going on. And if you don't, your work reflects that. Sorry, it doesn't have to be in the work, but I think your work reflects that. Depending. If you're like romance and like you're doing your own thing, fine. I shouldn't say that. But I think if you're someone that's doing like literary stuff or horror stuff, if you're just writing in a vacuum, I think it shows, because I think work ends up being very stale. If you have no outside input, you don't give a fuck what's going on, your work is probably really stale. Anyway, my fault. So the challenges that I faced this week was balancing distraction with making sure that I stayed up on what was going on. There was really no time there was no time for mistakes. There was one day that I actually, the second day of my productivity class, I was good for the first 2 hours. In between the second and third hour, I got on my phone and I got on TikTok, and my TikTok is incredibly politically charged, as you can, shocker. And that just threw me, and I was really struggling to write for the rest of the day. And so it's like, even though I really want to stay, in tune with what's going on, I want to be focused, I have to be careful about when I do that, because that threw me off for the last 2 hours. And it's like, well, what's the point? I did this time so I can stay focused. And if I'm not staying focused, then what's the point? So that's like one of the biggest challenges. And that was day 2. And it was really sad because I had really figured out a flow, and I knew I shouldn't have got on my phone, because your phone can always wait. My teacher said, We as writers, maybe this will help you. We as writers have to take ourselves extremely seriously or no one else will. And I think that I showed myself how unserious sometimes I can be with my own art, because why am I on TikTok in the 10-minute break I get? So in this productivity class, it's broken down into the little Pomodoro method. Usually I think it's like 20 minutes on, 5 minutes off, but for this, which I'm so grateful for, it's 50 minutes, 10 minutes, 50 minutes, 10 minutes for 4 hours. And so we only get 10-minute breaks. And I chose in my that first day, I chose to spend one of my 10 minutes scrolling. And that was so not good. And it so threw me for a really bad loop when it was time for me to go. So, or it's time for me to go back for writing. Sorry, I'm out of breath because I have to go. My friends are texting me. My hair's not done. It's bad. Another challenge that I feel like I faced was the cat. It's crazy. I think this can apply to don't be like, you're comparing this to kids. I'm not, but hear me out. My cat is very clingy, and we usually do playtime before I even begin my day, which is already a problem. My boyfriend's already been like, you're doing that. You're doing too much. Now that I'm getting up at 7 o'clock to start like writing, I don't have time to play. I'm not getting up at 6 o'clock in the morning to play with the damn cat. That's not happening. So I'm like retraining her. So the first couple days of this, she was like rolling, jumping up, getting into stuff, trying to get my attention, bringing her, she like brings her spring toys and like drops it on the floor. And I'm just like, oh my God, like I feel guilty. I feel bad for putting myself first. Like it wasn't cute, and it was really distracting because she was just like there the whole time begging for food. Like it was just like a lot. I don't have a door on my office, and so it was like I'm having to retrain my brain to put this moment first, because again, we have to take ourselves seriously. I cannot give up this time to a cat. Love her to death, but this can't be I give this up because the cat, that can't happen. So that was kind of like a really big thing, which is to retrain. No, this is me. I have to put myself first right now. No phone, no cat. If she's whiny, if she's crying, she's bringing her spring toys. It's too bad. I get these 4 hours. What's the point? I get these 4 hours. So honestly, the phone and the cat were my two biggest distractions. And between those two, those caused me a lot of distress. And so emotions were also a really big issue, because normally when I have a lot of emotions, I just want to lay and scroll. But we are in 4 hours. This is what you're here for. You cannot just lament and scroll. So what can we do? How can we pivot? A positive thing though is the first day I wrote the last chapter or last few pages of the book. I came up with the title of the book, and I came up with the last sentence of the book. And I'm gonna keep it to myself. I share a lot, I think, or I can, but I'm gonna keep it to myself. I'm so proud of it. It just brought me really closer to what I'm trying to do, the monster. It was amazing. I don't know, I'm really proud. A second thing that I did that I'm really proud of is I started to study. At the beginning of each class session, we plan out what we're gonna do. And so I've been planning out that for the first Pomodoro, the first hour, I'm going to do my study. Remember we talked about this 2 weeks ago? Last week? I'm gonna do my study because I need a full hour and I need time. I need my morning brain to get through this. And then I'm gonna journal about my experience. And so far I've read this, and then I've kind of journaled about being mad and, how that's showing up and what I can do for the next steps. So this is really strong. I think next week I'll have some more to share. I'm kind of going very slow because it's taking me a while, but I'm okay with reading very slow. I think it's good to read slow and absorb. I'm looking up word, define, you know what I mean? This is taking me a minute, but I'm proud that I'm getting better and better at it. The journal has kind of showed me that a lot of the negative things that I experience on my day-to-day is due to some of this, just me as a person, the madness. Again, I think maybe I'll do a full thing on this next week when I have time, because right now I just don't have time. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday, between those 2 days, I spent with the other writing project and my old writing project, editing and whatnot. Every day, I finished each day with viewing and scoring films, and every day I spent writing to some capacity. Usually after my Monday, Wednesday, Friday class, I would spend the evening editing for the next YouTube video or writing for rewriting my script that I have to go over because I got notes back. Remember, I was like, I'm done with that thing. I got final notes. We are almost done. I just don't want to look at it. Like, I want to move on. I'm over here. So yeah, I know I'm all over the place. This week I feel very all over the place, but it's good. Like, I feel very focused with myself, with my writing. I think the fact that I am very busy has kept me off my phone, which is also giving me space to think about my participation, giving me space back. I don't want to really go into all the things that I'd like to do because I think right now it's a very dangerous time to just broadcast like, I'm gonna go, you know what I mean? Like, that's bad. Like, don't do that. Don't do it for clout. There's no clout in working together, community activism. There's no clout in that. So don't chase clout. I don't know why I have the attitude. I think I'm just stressed because I have to go. But because I've been so busy and I have no time to scroll, I actually have more time to think, and I have more time to think about how I want to participate in what's upcoming. So yes, shout out to everyone who's out in the front lines. Shout out to Minnesota. You guys, please hold it down. I hear that we're about to get in Los Angeles. We're about to get some more agents here. It's very bad. Obviously, we have a very big immigrant population. It doesn't really matter, honestly, but it's very worrisome. And so kind of looking to figure out how I can participate in being more active in that side of things, because this shit's fucked up. And I think it's more important now to understand where your line, I've always understood what my line in the sand is, but I think I'm redrawing my line in the sand again when it comes to this. And so there's a fly. I gotta go. I'm about to go to the movies to see The Bone Temple. Nia DaCosta, work with me. I'm just playing. And yeah, thank you so much. I will see you next week. I have to go. What time is it? Ooh, I gotta go. And I got bacon and hash browns that I gotta eat first. It's bad. I gotta go. Bye.